Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Never Say Die. I'm Mickey Flint. I'll be your dungeon master and your master of ceremonies tonight as we attempt to play Dungeons and Dragons and not have a total party kill. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. I'm joined again this week by our wonderful cast of Sasha, Matt, and Sean. Say hello, folks. Don't forget to unmute yourselves so they can hear you.
Hello, folks.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Well, it's not an episode of Never Say Die without a few little slight technical gaffles on our part, but we had a wonderful first session last week. The party came out and met each other on the trail. They are each signed up to help a caravan and came to know each other a little bit. Why don't you guys each tell everybody, for those who might not remember, about your character name and a little bit brief about them, if you would. Go ahead, Sasha. You can start.
Oh, I get to go first. Fun. Okay, so make sure I'm unmuted. I am Gwendolyn Kerr. She is a rogue, half-elf, and is just kind of there to make some coin and to protect this kid and try and find him.
Cool. Go ahead, Matt.
All right. So I'm Matt, and I'm playing Clem, the Turtle Cleric from the coastal village of Chelan. And I'm helping to keep us alive, helping to hopefully find this young little halfling kid, and explore Wildmount with this group of great friends I've met.
And I am Sean. I'll be playing Adric Battlehammer, your sword-swinging lovable dwarf. Currently unconscious, and hoping to wake up and join the fight.
Well, we're not saying that he's more lovable now that he's unconscious, though. I mean, we're not really saying that. There is this snoring issue that is going on right now that all stealth checks will be made at severe disadvantage. Well, a quick recap. As you were all on the caravan, the weather turned inclement, and a farmstead here in the Marrow Valley, the breadbasket of the Empire, was seen, and a mad dash was made to get to safety for this extremely bad storm that had rolled west from the eastern mountains. And while taking some respite from the storm with these halfling farmers, it came clear that one of their youngest was abducted while gathering honeycomb for your dessert. And bravely, the three of you volunteered to rush right out and try to find the young halfling boy. Accompanied by some of the men and women of the homestead, you tracked what looks to be a band of many feet into a wooded area, into the Boar Forest, actually, and encountered some of the actual boars that the forest gets its name from, and did battle. Took some grievous wounds, but managed to carry on and track the footprints of what you thought must be goblins to a ruined tower where you encountered a few goblins keeping guard and watching and engaged them. As the battle started to go against the goblins, one of them retreated after you slaying two and fled into the tower. As you went to go proceed, you found that there was a trap door that the goblin had fled down into. You gave pursuit and found yourself in what looks to be a very old structure that possibly leads back to just post-calamity. And with some stealth, you found yourself running headlong into 3 or more of these goblins held up in a room. You gave battle. You were victorious, but in that battle, the brave dwarf was knocked unconscious. Hearing some kind of chanting and more goblins just beyond the corridor where you find yourself, you decided to make a strategic retreat and backed out up to the ground level and decided to try to nurse the ailing Adric Battlehammer back to consciousness and to bind some of your own wounds and to recoup a bit. And that is where we pick up tonight's action. So, Clem, you took advantage of your significant girth and
It's all
fortified shell to take your rest directly on top of the trapdoor, preventing anyone from being able to sneak up on you from below. Gwendolyn pulled out her bedroll, stretched it out as you were able to get Adric to be more comfortable and lie prone. Mechanically, you guys have the benefit now of a short rest.
Oh, so close.
You're not very close at all.
I mean, the kid was in a chanting room at the time, so I don't think we have time for a short rest, or this kid will no longer be alive.
He was in a cage. This is true. And there you go. There's the first roll of the night, and it's only a 5. So
hopefully that's a good thing.
Things are looking up already.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Hopefully, fewer crits this week.
I'd like to use this long rest to roll my hit dice.
Short rest.
Yeah, short rest. Is that what I said? Short rest.
Yeah. Should I do it for
as first level? You have one hit die that you could take.
Well, I know I have to, so I'm gonna.
Yes.
Yeah, and
only
so
missing 2. I'm just gonna do it.
Nothing occurs in that first hour that you're waiting for Adric to try to come back around. And sometime after the hour mark, he does come back around. So it actually will require another hour for him to be able to take his hit die. So you'll have to be up here for 2 hours.
That's fine.
All right, so
Well, while we're waiting for the dwarf to wake up, can I check out that scroll that we found?
you certainly can. With the time now and with less of the pressing danger that you found yourself in down below, that spidery script, you start to pick up a little bit more, and you get a sense of the divine about this spell scroll.
Oh,
And realize that it is a spell scroll, and that as you begin to look at it and you hear, you feel that the presence of your god, Pelar, is upon you, and these words, they begin to actually come clear, and you realize that if you read them as a prayer, that you would be able to cast Guiding Bolt.
I like that.
First up. at first level. It is a first level
Fancy.
guiding bolt spell scroll.
Very nice. I think I'll hang on to that one.
Yes.
You're not going to
that-
use it to wipe off your feet from all of the refuse you were standing in?
Don't you dare!
Goblin
Don't you dare!
And if we're doing
Not
that
very
second hour, I'll
smart.
roll my hit die. Get back. Don't be a 1. Don't be a 1. Okay.
Gwendolyn's gonna pull out her maps and kind of add this to her maps. This
Okay.
area with danger notes about goblins.
Okay. All right. Well, you have the 2 hours. Clem, you did not feel in that time any pressure pushing up on you from below.
Okay. I'll let them know nobody didn't feel any efforts to move me off this door. We might not have been followed.
That's fortunate. Hopefully they stay down there until we're ready for them.
It's like,
I
come
mean, they
back.
seemed pretty involved. From what I saw.
Yeah,
Like-
agreed.
As I regain consciousness, hearing you guys talking, I want to like shoot out and be like, huh, oh, did I win?
Adric, oh, thank the Maker, you're okay.
Did I win?
He did. He did.
In a way?
He won. Good little man.
Well, we cleared out the first room, but the second room was a little full, for lack of a better term.
What did you see?
I saw there was a goblin dressed in very old, ratty, ceremonial robes. The child was in that room in
The
a
child?
cage. We would have just ran in there, and that's what I wanted to do, but you were also kind of unconscious, so thought better of it to come up here. So hopefully the kids, okay. There was also, it was odd. There was a statue in the back, just armored with a wing on one side. But its head was smashed and it was painted black and splashed with red. I'm not quite sure the implications of that, but
Oh, Toa's wrath.
It sounds beautiful, but not.
it sounds horrible. Sounds like they defaced something.
Well, you
I
started.
mean, I'm all
beautiful,
for good
but, yeah.
defacing, but not with ill intent.
What do we got to go back down there.
I am inclined to agree. So from what I saw, and I couldn't see a whole lot, there was the goblin in ceremonial robes that was doing a bunch of chanting and stuff, and let's hope he's not done yet. And there were 2 other goblin that were like down on their knees, so it looks like they're doing perhaps some kind of ritual. I'm not too familiar with those types of things, so take it for what you will.
A ritual.
What do you think,
Hopefully
holy
the
man?
ritual hopefully it takes a long time for them to cast this ritual. I haven't
That's what
come
I'm
across
hoping.
much goblin magic.
Oh, goblin magic.
DM question.
Mm-hmm.
With my dealings in the past with goblins, would I have heard of them ever being interested in magic stuff?
You would, with your dealings in the past, know that there are 2 types of goblin kind. Those that are more liberated from the shackles of their origin, and they tend to be the ones that you find in more bordering towns bordering the empire, and they usually have their hands in just about any kind of black market trade.
Okay.
Mostly because that is what's kind of expected from them, more so than that's what they would choose. So you've seen both goblin fence as well as goblin thief. Now, as far as magic items, everybody, any thief and fence is interested in the acquisition and sale of magical items.
But the practice
There's
of
always-
it is. Sorry.
Nope. The practice is what?
uncommon for goblin kind to actually like practice magic? Or
You haven't heard too much of that.
answer my question, thank you.
Okay.
Like damn goblin magic.
So do we feel ready?
Oh, I'm ready to show him what for.
Feeling good, Battlehammer.
I'm feeling about half as good as I can. I'm ready to fight.
All right.
We can do. What's our strategy going in this? Obviously, we just can't run in there.
Well,
I mean,
this
they
will
kind
help when I hold up the spell scroll.
I can't read it.
It'll unleash. It's a gift from my god. It'll unleash his radiance upon whomever he chooses, or I choose, depending. It's not a spell I cast often, but I think it'll work. It'll work pretty well.
Perhaps save that for the magic user
Yeah.
or the.
It appears if I hit him with the spell, the next it'll guide your blade or your arrow or a rock to strike the target much better.
All right then, let's do this then.
But other than that, that's all I got.
So how do we want to?
Ah,
I mean,
when
there's
you're
only
going
a
through doorways,
doorway.
make sure you check for blades.
Yeah, no, I learned my lesson real quick with that. I should have known better. My judgment was clouded.
It was the lust for battle.
It's the worry of the child. There's one thing that makes me angry. It's kids in trouble.
I was gonna say we do the same thing we always do. We rush in and fight.
Or just hear me out. I could sneak ahead. You guys can be very, very close. And I could shoot something before anything happens.
I'll consider it, Elf.
I'm quite good at sneaking. Usually.
I'm not so good at sneaking, so that's not a bad idea.
My only concern is that there's a single doorway, if I'm remembering correctly. So
you want to lure them out rather than us go to them?
no, if we lure them out, it's into that teeny tiny room. This other room is far much bigger.
Oh, it
And
is bigger. Okay.
It's bigger. Bigger than that tiny room
Bigger
that we were
and
just
filled
in. Plus, there's still probably some bodies down there.
with
I don't know about you, darling, but I do not want to be stuck in a room with those. But perhaps we can make a few more.
Yeah, you saw 3, you say. What
We
about
killed
the
3 of
large
them.
foot-
Oh,
the large
never,
footprints
sorry.
we saw?
I
We saw
forgot about
larger
those.
footprints that weren't goblin.
I guess we just need to be prepared for something bigger.
Did you
Like-
see any signs of it?
Nope. I
No.
saw the ceremonial robe magic goblin and 2 other goblins on their knees. So
Maybe the magic goblin changed its form to something much larger.
or we could be dealing with things that are usually around goblins. Would I know hobgoblins and goblins usually hang out? Out of character.
Yeesh.
DM. I don't want to be meta.
It's down there, Mickey.
I'm sorry, I have
No,
so
hey.
many questions. I just
No, that's
Let me
quite all
put my
right.
meta knowledge.
Well, yeah. Let me. You got to use your hot pink dice to roll for meta knowledge.
Oh wow. Excuse me, this would probably be a history check.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Actually,
going to. Oh, okay, cool.
I actually was trying to think about which I would say
Okay, let me
being
think on
in.
this.
As you're thinking,
Will-
allow me to provide you guidance from my god.
I would
Lord.
love that. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh,
So you are pondering, and Clem kind of moves up behind you and lays a hand on the top of your head. You're slightly uncomfortable by that, but you feel
It's a gentle-
divine kind of energy flow into you, and it seems to open up pathways in your brain, doors seemingly open with some knowledge that you had sort of forgotten, and you hear back to some stories that your father used to talk about, how whenever there was a band of goblins, they would not necessarily be far behind, that there would be a few hobgoblins causing the real problem, and that they would be the type of folks who would be the organizer in a larger contingent of goblin kind.
Oh, I just remembered something. I remember stories that I used to hear when I was younger, that goblins, it wasn't uncommon for goblins to travel with hobgoblins, and hobgoblins are big comparatively. So that
They're larger
could be
goblins.
what we're facing.
Actually, you know that they're while larger, they're not the biggest.
Yeah. Bigger than a goblin.
Larger than me?
At least I don't know. I don't know. Have I ever seen a hobgoblin?
You don't know. With a 21, you would say no.
Okay.
Goblins.
I'm not
bigger
familiar with
goblins,
hobgoblins, so yeah.
They all fall the same.
They might hit a little different though. They're a little bit bigger.
Clem, as I recall, you did also see, while down in the lower level, the bas relief carved wall that had
yes.
not only goblins but much larger
Ah,
creatures that were also engaged in battle with the
the
knights.
big hairy things you were talking about.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So these hobgoblins may be the creatures depicted in the imagery in the room with all the poop.
Ugh.
The room with poop all over the floors
Yes,
and on
yes,
the
yes.
walls.
That you purposefully walked through.
It's the element of surprise. I was most surprised and sickened.
I was wondering
Well,
what
then
that smell was.
I kicked some of it on you.
Oh! Okay, should we do this? Like,
I say we
do
should.
we have a plan?
Yeah, you can sneak in and like you said, do some shooting.
I do need a little bit of distance, but I guess be ready to rush in.
You can see in the dark. I can't, so best for me to stay towards the back. I think I can feel my way towards where we were going. Was it lit down there last
There's
time?
a fire.
Yeah, there was a fire. So okay, that's
There's
good.
a fire.
I'm not gonna light anything to get down there.
Probably wise. We want them to be as surprised as possible. All right. Adric, Clem, are you ready?
I'll have your backup.
Okay.
I'll have both of your backs, elf and dwarf.
In we go.
Okay. So you make your way down into the shrine below.
Dun, dun.
What's the order that you guys are descending?
Gwendolyn is first.
Adric behind.
Okay. Clement taking up the rear.
Yes.
With no light source on him.
Can I roll for PTSD as we go through the room I was knocked down in? My non-flash.
I would say that you have a little bit of dwarven resiliency, so you're able
Feeling
to
good.
shake that off. All right,
Used
so
to a
let's
good
get
underground latrine.
We'll get the room set.
Oh, yep.
Okay. So you make it your way down the ladder, back now into the familiar landing area, and you see the stairs that descend down into the corridor. You follow the corridor around to the right, and it opens up into the now familiar room. Gwendolyn, on the wall by you, you see the the bas relief carvings
Mm-hmm.
that Clem had mentioned. Adric, you actually see now on the other side there that there is writing on the wall that you may have missed previously because you were rather unconscious at the time.
Yeah.
You were communing with the back of your eyelids. But you see carved into the wall, chisel, not hastily scratched in, but reverently as part of this, almost like a motto or banner, carved directly into the marble of this wall. It says, "I swear the Zalikan oath to serve law, battle chaos, and keep the Zalikan lore secret."
Xylocan.
So what?
Xylocan on this wall.
I don't know what that means. Is this the temple or?
Am I able to roll? Don't wanna.
Yeah.
Are you asking for if you know what it is? Yeah,
what
give a religion. Now they're all coming fast and furious. Being as you've had this calling yourself in the not so distant past, Adric, you have kind of made a bit of a study of the other deities. You figure it's kind of now part of your trade, if you will. So you have a working knowledge of the various prime deities and even the betrayer gods. You know that Zalakas was in the great calamity between the prime and the betrayer gods. She fought with the prime god on their side and was a major general in that battle. However, she was grievously injured and lost one of her wings, and is known as the one-winged goddess, if you will. Though there's part of you that's not quite sure, is she a god or was she like a lesser god? But you recall that after the fall and after the calamity, while the other gods sort of retreated to like the celestial temples, she remained on the mortal plane and is said to stay within the mortal realm, helping fight against chaos and the remnants of the betrayer gods and their minions. It's amazing what a 20 will tell you.
Like Gwen, the Xylocan, she fought in the calamity. She fought with the prime gods, and she was. I remember reading that she was wounded and remains on this mortal plane to this day, known as the one-winged goddess. Didn't you mention a statue?
The statue must be her. There's no other explanation. Like, it was a one-winged and it would look like the shape of a woman. Okay.
She fought with my god.
Oh.
As you are in this room now, clearly and audibly, you can hear the rhythmic chanting is still continuing.
Goblin magic.
Okay. So are we ready for this?
Gwendolyn, having gotten closer to it than the others, you hear it. It's maybe faster now. It's actually kind of built up a bit.
It sounds like they're speeding up. They're probably getting close to the end. We need to get going now.
Glad it takes some time.
Follow close behind. And, yeah. I would like to disappear into the shadows, if at all possible. Or at least attempt to.
Watch for the trap.
walking past the
I
latrine.
am definitely
wanna-
making sure this trap is gone first. I'm not
Okay.
just walking through.
As you as you step onto the bodies of the dead goblins that you
Yes.
left,
They're dead.
they are dead and messy on the floor. How are you checking this trapped area that you disabled?
I want
You
to
hope you disabled.
double check and make sure everything's good. I don't have anything heavy to put on it. Did I see where the blades had come out initially?
I will say that you did after they came within a hair's breadth of taking off your nose. That you made pretty good note of the slits that appear to be where two large blocks should have met and where there should be grout. On careful inspection, you could see that there were, in fact, no grout in there, and it was the slit where these large sickle blades came whipping out.
I'm going to check on that, and I also want to look at the plate on the ground to see if it is
If your work
successfully
is-
depressed.
Okay, give me an investigation.
Investigate. Not that. Let it go. Come on,
it
girl.
Looks pretty good.
Can I like take my foot and like stamp real hard on it and then pull my foot back?
Yeah, you do. And you were apparently successful because no blades come whipping out. Your attempts previously were indeed successfully able to wedge some of the metal pitons that you had in your pack into this pressure plate so that it doesn't seem to be giving any, with your weight, giving any depressions to set any more traps off.
All right, it looks like it's good. I'm going to do my thing. Stay close. Come over to this side of the room if you'd like.
As I walk away from the latrine, I want to look and see two big turtle footprints. And it's like,
Yes, he did that.
blast.
Okay, I would like to step in here and
I'm avoiding the latrine this time.
do my thing.
Okay. So, gazing around
Could be worse. Could be better.
again.
Checking for traps the whole time. I have learned
Sure.
from my mistake.
Again, you see the goblin at the far end, lost in his throes of some kind of chanting, ritualistically swaying. And you see several other goblins in the room, clearly following suit.
I'm
And
going.
again, and I'm just gonna say, you do see now the near frantic, almost with exhaustion, small little halfling boy in the cage.
I'm gonna step back
Occasionally
for a minute.
screaming.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna step back real quick. There's
Okay.
2 more than I originally thought, so be prepared. And
Their backs are to you. The 3 goblins that you could see from the door, right there. They are facing forward on their knees, chanting and swaying rhythmically.
what about this one right here?
Do it again. Yeah, you just see just an edge of something over there. There might be something there. Give roll a perception.
Oh my gosh!
There's something there.
There's something. There's definitely something. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my bow very quietly, knock an arrow, and if I try and shoot at him, I'm gonna be At a disadvantage because this dude's in the way, correct?
No, he's on his knees and he's a goblin to boot. So
I'm shooting this one. I'm shooting this one.
okay.
I'm going straight for the one with the kid.
All right, we'll say you can get one shot off. You are at 16 stealth, so you're kind of in the shadows in the back. He's lost in his chanting, and he's not even looking up at you at all. So you're able to pop out and get a surprise shot off at him.
Okay. Please don't. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. Oh no.
You don't know.
Might not be bad. Might not be bad.
That screaming is so unnerving. I'm already sweating, y'all.
Okay, your arrow shoots in and strikes the goblin. Apparently, he must have some kind of leather armor or some kind of armored underneath because it sticks in his armor. And just does damage. So roll for your damage as you see the arrow bite into him.
Nice.
Do I get my sneak attack?
That was a roller coaster.
You absolutely do.
Nice.
Okay. Selected. Come on. Oh yes. 15
right.
damage.
I see that.
That'll work.
Okay. Everyone else needs to roll for initiative.
Ooh.
Don't forget to click your token.
What am I going to do with a 19 from the back?
Move
Yeah, you're
up.
not gonna get very far. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't.
Move up and do something.
You could
good.
take a dodge action if you wanted to. Something comes after you. Yeah, that rhymed.
All right. So one quick note, we are using some more, a little bit of music and sound effects tonight. So wanted to give a shout out to Syrinscape as our musical and sound effects provider this evening.
Fantastic.
So as we try to work some of those in. Okay, so I think we've got everybody in the turn order.
Oh no.
Ooh, the
Oh,
goblin's
God.
rolling high.
I am last.
Okay.
Do I have at any time to like move, or is it just a shot and then I'm done?
I would think that no. As soon as you make the shot, that's it.
Okay.
That was
just wanna
it.
check.
Then they knew. Yeah. Then we're gonna kick it off there. So. Okay. So, the goblins see this arrow whistle forward, and are you hear just as the goblin priest kind of shovels back. The three goblins kneeling with their faces pressed against the ground, chanting, look up and see that. Whirling around, they see you. They take half their movement to stand up. They are each, we'll count them as prone, as they are supplicant to whatever mayhem is going on. And so, standing, they have 15 feet, so 5, 10, 15.
Oh no, this one in the corner does.
And not wanting, let's say, okay. Actually, that one's going to stay back there. So one rushes forward and draws his sword. Let's see, the other two are each going to fire off their short bows at you. Oh, sorry. That should have been public, but it's not. So a 7 misses.
Yes,
So the first fires off his short bow, and you hear it clink off the wall just above your head, missing you pretty badly. The second, I don't know why this is rolling at advantage. I'm sorry, but his 8 is not much better, and strikes the wall behind you. The other screams at you in Goblin. Knowing Goblin, as you do, you recognize the familiar cry of "Die, dirty elf!" Not very original goblins.
I just laugh.
All right, Clem, that brings up to you.
Well, is this lit okay down here? Can I see?
You can see as what you can actually see.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got light. You've got light coming from the brazier that was a roaring fire before, is now down to coals, but still giving off enough light to see by.
Okay.
There is also light streaming in through the open doorway.
Okay.
The far chamber must be brightly lit.
Okay. I'm gonna move up then.
Okay.
Move up to here, and seeing the goblin right in front, I'm going to chant a spell. Let me say, "Holy light shine bright, with radiance comes glory, blazing sun above," and cast Word of Radiance.
Okay. On which one? The closest?
The one right up looking at me.
This guy right here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Constitution save.
Three, I'm doubting makes it.
This does not make it. So he kind of erupts, and let's say a searing light comes down from the ceiling and scorches him.
Nice. Both of you can sort of smell the smell of burning asteroid oil and burnt goblin hair as this radiant light sears him for how much? 2 points of damage?
Yeah, 2 points of radiant damage.
Excellent.
Maybe it's more of a 2nd-degree sunburn, but you know. And I'm gonna use then the rest of my movement to move back and make room for young dwarf to come in and wreck house.
Hopefully.
That's all I got.
All right. Excellent. Adric.
I'm gonna move up and see what's going on. Seeing this, look at the elf. Elf! They're coming through here. Come back, it's a kill box! And I step back here, and I'm gonna ready my action, hoping that she heeds my warning for one of the goblins to come right through here. Ready my attack.
Okay.
I don't think they'll kill the boy.
Might need the boy.
That's a good point.
I'm getting a feeling we interrupted whatever they were in the middle of.
So you're readying an action
To attack a goblin. Once a goblin gets into this middle square right here, and where I can hit him.
Okay. All right. Gwendolyn, you see coming around the corner
Oh. Hell.
the large, tufted, bulky mass of a goblin con coming around the corner. full Mel, charging up at you, pushing past the small goblin. And he is in his hand carrying a large morning star, which he, with a roaring scream, swings down at you.
No!
The 5. It's not at advantage.
Okay.
I don't know why everything is coming up as advantage.
Jeez.
I was like, Gwendolyn's dead,
crit.
guys.
Yeah, Gwendolyn would have been dead.
Gwendolyn's dead. No, she's okay. She's okay.
I'm really not sure why that's coming up as an advantage. So anyway, it's the first one. So you see the bolt of just pure adrenaline. You see this giant spiked morning star come screaming down, and you're able to just duck backwards out of the way, and it smashes into the ground just in front of you. As you both look down you're looking down at the head of this morning star now on the ground, and you kind of both look up at the same time, and as he's looking, you look up into his face. He just getting a little bit of spit all over you.
That's disgusting.
Really kind of nasty. And that's pretty much his turn. The goblin priest in the back goes to feel this arrow now sticking out of his chest, and he's grievously wounded by your sneak attack that you had done on him. What does he do?
Oh no. I don't know. You tell me. What does he do?
I'm trying to decide. Because he can only see you.
Yep.
Okay. He begins to. You can see him. He kind of reaches into underneath his robe, and he pulls out. His hand is bloody with his own blood, and he begins to chant at you, and kind of flicks his fingers at you, and these drops of blood come flying forward. You need to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh. Okay. Oh yes.
Oh,
Nice. Man, 20s are good.
For now.
Fast and Furious, right? So, as you feel kind of this pressure, this almost like the air getting heavy and starting to push down upon you, you start to doubt yourself, and you thinking these negative thoughts, and you kind of realize that this isn't you, this isn't Gwendolyn, and you just kind of grab hold of your self-worth, and you stand up straight, and you can feel that pressure just kind of shatter off of you as you shake off the effects of the spell he tries to cast upon you. He then moves out of the way.
Oh no.
Don't be so negative. You don't know. You don't know.
He left my sight. I'm not going to be happy about that. I like to be the one that cannot be seen. Not what I'm fighting.
And I'm just I figured out why it was doing that, and I'm just having to fix it. There we go. Okay. All right. Gwendolyn,
Yes.
you now are faced with this smelly, hulking creature directly in front of you, standing at least 7 feet tall, towering over you.
Can I disengage and run?
You can try.
Well, like disengage to avoid the.
Yes, you can use your action to disengage. Absolutely.
I will definitely do that. So she just kind of smiles up to him and goes, "See you later." Up, 15. I'm gonna go 20, 25. I'm gonna go right here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chill there with my bow.
Okay.
Making sure you're not completely running away.
No, of course not.
I see you go running past.
Adric gets a bit of a smile because he's got his sword just waiting there, like, oh, these goblins.
Oh, there's a big one now. I say it as I'm passing them.
All right. The next thing you see is a goblin running pell-mell. You hear getting screamed at from behind. You hear from this large hulking creature, and he, almost like this goblin gets propelled forward, almost like as if he was pushed forward. You see him slam his shoulder, bounces into the wall, and he bounces off that and kind of comes running forward, almost like he's more scared of what's behind than what's in front. And he steps into the open area. And actually, before, so he gets to right about there, right as he's walking in. Adric, you are able to your triggered action as he comes into range.
I'm like, take that goblin! And I'm gonna try to hit him with my scimitar.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Assuming 18 hits.
Your assumption is correct.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll.
Nice.
Nice.
So as you come, how do you dispatch him?
Oh.
Nicely done.
As he comes in, I just want to take that goblin magic! And I just chop his head off, just in one clean.
Okay. It rolls towards a hole in the ground, but doesn't go in, so you did not just invent golf. But as he walks in, it's just at that perfect height for your dwarvish swing to kind of take him. As he's running in, you come straight across and separate his head from his shoulders, helping him to shake off the mortal coil as his lifeless body falls down to the one that was previously already on the floor there. And he is no more.
Little blood spatter on my face. I'm really happy about it.
Because it's a bottleneck.
What a pile of dead bodies in this hallway.
Yeah, they're gonna have to climb over him. He drops his bow as he. Well, no, he doesn't. As they both come across, they see Gwendolyn, and they both are gonna fire their bows at her before running into where they just now can see their dead little friend. Oh, that first does hit, though.
That hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you take
Okay.
4. The second having to shoot through his fellow in front of him is going to do it at disadvantage. So the 10 misses because of the rough terrain. Both of them are going to use their nimble escape to disengage. One uses it to disengage, and the other one also moves back. They're not incredibly intelligent, but they're also not incredibly stupid either. Okay, Clem.
All right, I'm going to just step up to see what I can see here. I see the big man there.
You do, and as you do, you hear the child that you saw, the small halfling, letting out a loud scream.
Okay. So seeing him, I'm actually going to step back a little bit more and cast Guiding Bolt on him. Reading the spell scroll.
Well, you need to have... Yeah, so from right there, you need to have line of sight on him. So you can cast it from there.
I think that'd be a disadvantage then.
Why?
No, not to cast a spell.
Oh, I thought it's not a ranged attack.
Let's see.
Yeah, ranged spell attack.
Song in the background.
I don't know if spell attacks get disadvantage. Let me just look something up real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw that. That's actually what I'm looking at too.
Okay. The power of Google, everybody.
Yeah, I think, and I could be wrong because I've never really played it with as such, and it never occurred to me. I thought that that the reason for disadvantage wouldn't apply to spells, but I guess it could. But we'll say for this and the sake of moving the game along, and you're able to read the scroll, and you do not get disadvantage for making a crawl against this large goblin.
And then second question: how would I cast it if it's not on my spell list at the moment?
Just go ahead and roll a d20, and then we'll add your. Since it's a scroll, let's just So since it's a scroll, you doesn't it. Never mind, you hit. So just
What was that, 46?
Anything, yeah, 46.
Sick.
Roll high, roll high, roll high.
All sixes. All sixes.
That'd be beautiful.
Well, not so much.
11.
I mean, that's still 11's a good
All right,
amount of damage at level 1.
You fire off this. You pull out the scroll and reading through it, and almost a sing-songy sort of prayer type of chant that you use to give thanks and blessings to Pelor every morning. You read this off, and as it does so, the scroll actually begins to glow brightly and disintegrates into this glowing nebulous, and you feel your hands clap together, and as it does, it releases this bolt of radiant energy, and it streaks out, striking the bugbear straight into the chest, for that is what it is that you are facing. And you see him light up momentarily, and then suddenly with a roar, he reels back as his flesh, where this divine energy hits him, starts to char and burn as you do 11 points of damage to him, knocking him backwards slightly.
Excellent. Then I will, when he gets knocked backwards, I'll take the opportunity to move back myself.
He continues to glow with this radiant energy. Mm-hmm. So attacks on him now are at advantage. The next attack on him is at advantage until the end of your next turn. So he continues now to glow with this radiant energy, making him very easy to target.
Destroy him, Battlehammer. Destroy
You
him,
step
either
up.
of you.
All right. That does bring up Adric.
And as he says that to me, I go, with pleasure. Oh, I just go running up to our lovely beastie. And I'm just gonna, without hesitation, high off the beheading of my recent goblin, I just like turn the corner. I'm just like, ah! And try to hit him with my scimitar. And I get advantage.
You do.
Nice.
What you needed.
Absolutely.
But regardless, you get advantage and you make good use of it. And you strike a powerful blow. His shield is not enough to deflect your blow, and your scimitar cuts into his hide armor, slicing in through it and into him. Roll the damage.
Oh, what the? Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
I
I gotta roll on
That's
this. There we go.
That's all right. There you go.
Nice. A
All
D6
right.
better than 2d20.
All right, so that blow slices a vicious gash open up on his side, and blood is now flowing, adding to the charred skin and flesh from the radiant blast. Anything else?
I believe even though I hit him, if I step back, that invokes an attack of opportunity, correct?
It could.
All right. I think then I will just face it and hope
Be
that
the
he's
paladin?
big enough. Yeah, I'm hoping that, yeah. I'm just hoping he's big enough that these goblins will have a hard time getting around him to hit me. As long
Okay.
as he's in that, it's thin hallway.
He, with almost joyous growl of satisfaction, he sees that you did not run away from him, and he lets out a snarl and pulls back his morning star to try to crack it and smash your head in. But is 7. Clearly, he is reeling still from the blow that you gave him. And swings high above his head. Maybe he's seeing double. Maybe he's expecting you to be a little bit taller. But for whatever reason, his swing of the Morning Star whistles over your head and smashes into the wall to your right, missing you. And he gives out, as he hits the wall, and sparks fly. He has this kind of look on his face. And that's about it for him. Okay.
Also, too, now that I'm standing up there, would my vision be too obscured to see maybe like why that boy might have screamed, or would I see anything in the background there?
There's a lot going on in your immediate vicinity, and you can't quite see beyond this hulking 7-foot bugbear, and then there's 2 more goblins behind him, and
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, he's taking up a lot of space there. He's back. Let's see, oh, he's not.
Oh yeah.
All right. Things are going on in the background that you're not sure about. All right, Gwendolyn.
Yes. Okay. I am going to be able to put my bow away and take out my rapier. That would pretty much take up my entire action, right?
Are you gonna try to stow your bow or just drop it?
I really don't want to drop it. But that might be a good option right now. Because if I stow it, it's going to take my action to do.
If you
Okay, yeah.
stow it, it's your interaction. Drawing it could be your free action. So no, you could do both.
Okay, I'll do that. I want to...
If it's the other way around, you need both to get arrow and bow.
No.
But I'm saying to go the other way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to stow my bow and pull out my rapier.
So this way you can draw, and still have, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm going to do that.
That's the rules we're playing.
Perfect. So 5, 10.
Now, the other way, though, you would not be able to sheath your sword.
And draw my bow and an arrow.
Draw the bow and knock an arrow. That's 3.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. 5, 10, 25. Okay. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 right here.
Mm-hmm.
And since he is currently engaged with him,
and you also have advantage because he's glowing.
Oh, this is wonderful. So I am going to stick him with the pointy end without him even seeing me.
Don't forget to go at advantage.
I did.
There you go.
And I needed it.
Yeah. All right. 22 hits.
With sneak attack.
Yep. All of the dice.
Nice.
There it is. Ooh! That's what I like to see.
All right, so 15.
15 points of damage.
All right.
Or no, that's not 15. Is it? 9. Oh, yes, you are correct.
Yeah,
Sorry. I was looking at the
9%.
dice.
And
Or the-
6 from the sneak. For a first level, man, that's
This is recompense from last session. With almost all of us dying at one point, almost.
All right. You want to describe your killing blow?
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm just gonna come around the corner and shove it straight up through the bottom of his jaw. Just straight through the maw. Out through the top of his head. Because are quite long.
Okay. So, sneaking on cat-like feet, Gwendolyn makes her way from the far end of the chamber while putting away her bow over her back and drawing out her rapier. And she nimbly slips around and, darting past the dwarf, gets in underneath the surprised guard of this big bugbear. And with almost a kind of dancer-like grace, getting up on her toes, she pirouettes and shoves her rapier straight up. She has to kind of really, almost a little bit of a hop to get all the way up, as the tip of her blade pierces from underneath the hairy tufts under his jaw and up through his head with a crunch. Oh, the horror! As his eyes go milky white and he just slumps to the ground, much to the cries of dismay from the goblins behind him. You have a bonus action, Gwendolyn, and movement. If you do, you have movement? You might not have movement.
I have 5 feet of movement left.
Okay.
Bonus action. What all can I do on that? I always forget.
First level, I don't think you can disengage yet.
Not as a bonus action, no.
No.
Bonus action. 5.
You are not in, there's nobody who can attack you within range.
Yeah, no, that's use attack, cast a spell, use a class feature. Okay, yeah, I can too. So I am just going to actually for my bonus action, I'm just going to turn to Adric and be like, "Cleared the way for you, darling," and take a step back. And that's the end of my turn.
All right. That brings us to the goblins, who, let's see. Both of them seem to look at each other, and then look backwards and decide that if they are going to fight, they're not going to run away. They find some kind of courage within them, and as such, they knock more arrows, and this time firing at our brave dwarf. 16 hit?
Nope.
Okay, so the first one you take on your shield, deflecting, quivering in the front of your shield. The second doesn't even manage to hit your shield, as his arrow, shot with shaking hands of terror, deflects wide. Seeing that they didn't hit you, they now maybe aren't quite as brave as they were a minute ago, and decide that discretion may be the better part of their valor, and they move back into the chamber.
Cowards. Cowardice goblets.
Okay. Clem?
Seeing the arrows flying, I'm going to, and emboldened by the utter destruction of that bugbear, I'm going to move up.
All right. So as you enter the chamber, you see that the goblin priest, whose entire side is just covered in blood, where the arrow is still sticking out of or near his neck, has now gotten one hand around the head, neck of this small halfling boy, and he's sort of using him as a bit of a human shield in front of him. And with the other hand, he's got his other hand out with some kind of strange gesture.
I'm going to, not maybe being the brightest, word of radiance on him. I'm sorry, sacred flame on him.
Sacred Flame is a saving throw.
Saving throw, yes.
Correct. Dex save. Well, if they are one thing, they are rather dexterous.
They are very dexterous. Yeah, this hasn't worked so well for me, but
Hang on.
I will
Public.
start
Normal.
chanting to Pelor. Welcome the fire.
So he is able to kind of
Shake it.
dodge out of the way. You do not hit the child with your
That's good.
bolt of sacred energy. That is good. But you also fail to hit this tottering goblin priest. Anything else?
In my last 5 feet, I'll move here
Okay.
to make way for my team behind me.
All right, Adric, that brings up to you.
All right, I'm gonna follow my good friend Clem here.
Climbing over the body of the dead. Almost like if he's not even there, but you can see like the dwarf suddenly get a little bit taller and then get a little bit shorter again as he runs up over one side of him and down the other.
5, 10, 15. And I think as coming in the room and I would see this goblin holding him, I would try to just get up there and see if I can dispatch this goblin that's holding onto this boy.
Okay. Roll your attack. He does have half cover if you're trying not to hit the boy.
Got it. Yep, I'm trying not to hit the boy for sure. So
Okay.
that's a disadvantage, right? Or is it
No,
take
no.
something
It,
off my roll?
it increases his AC.
Got it. Okay.
So just go ahead and roll, and I'll let you know if you hit. Yeah, even though he is trying to put this boy in between you and him, your rage or maybe your god is lending accuracy to your blow as you follow up and slice into him on the other side of his neck from this arrow. There was not much fight left in him, and whatever it was bleeds out in a spray of crimson as you dispatch
Nice work, Battlehammer.
the priest.
Blast goblin magic!
Roll damage?
I'm assuming he had 1 HP.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. He literally did have 1 HP.
Oh my god.
So a little behind the screen there. He had 1 hit point left. Your arrow almost you almost throat shot at him.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
And killed and nipped him. Yeah, it's actually you're very happy that you didn't give him another opportunity to do more havoc. Okay, Adric, you have a bonus action, and you may have a little bit of movement still.
I think if I went here, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Nope, that's it. That's it for me.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so the boy is in front of you.
Mm. Oh, I guess, could I
and-
use the bonus action to kind of just put him behind me? Just to kind of-
I would say that give me a straight dexterity roll.
for dex roll. Okay.
Yeah, because he's kind of like a wild animal a little bit. Not a save.
Wild
So-
little-
Oh, I'm dumb. I always hit the wrong thing. Dex.
That's okay.
Oh, it's over there.
Let me see something here. Let me see what I rolled for him. Yeah, okay. So your 8 dexterity overcomes his 6 on charisma of fear. So you're able to kind of grab him by the shirt and at least pull him into you. So he is closer to you than the goblins.
Okay.
He is now, however, screaming bloody murder as you pull him from the carnage. He is blood spattered, terrified, and screaming.
He's a poor child.
Yeah, he is very upset. Okay, good job. The goblin priest does not need to go because he's dead. He's dead. So that brings you to Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, you hear the boy screaming in the other room. You hear clashing, and then more screaming, and you don't know what's befallen.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20? I'm gonna assume I see this dude at that point.
Yeah, you
Nope,
see
that's
your
my friend.
Clem.
That's my friend.
Yeah.
10, 15. That's 15. 20. Okay, I see he's okay. And I see this guy right here.
You do. You can just make out where they're trying to hide behind or take cover behind those pillars. So you don't have a clear shot really at either one of them, but
Well,
you do have a shot.
Well, I don't have my bow out. So I'm
No, you would have, but-
I'm actually going to say in Goblin, we don't have to kill you if you give up now. We can spare your lives if you drop your weapons.
Okay.
Can I say all of that in Goblin? Can I see if I convince them to?
Are you trying to be honey-tongued or threatening?
A little honey-toned with them, I think.
Okay.
So a couple darlings thrown in there.
Roll persuasion.
Got it.
At disadvantage, though, because
shoot.
they've just
Okay.
seen you. That's all right. Just go. All right. So 14 or 18.
14. If it was disadvantage, it'd be the 14.
Yeah. Okay. They look at you, and they look at each other, and say, one goes to the other, and well, if the she-elf is either going to kill us or she's not, but we're going to die here, no matter what. And you see the other one look at his friend. They look at each other, shrug. Either way, Bane will have us. And they kind of throw down their weapons and drop their weapons.
Sick.
Nicely done.
She said, the one goblin looks at you and says, "Now what?"
Tell me what happened here.
Well, you busted in and killed everyone. That's what happened here.
With the child, you dimwit.
Oh, well, you should have said something. Well, we're sent out. Needed a sacrifice, the priest said. So we got a sacrifice. Priest said it was too small, but we'd have to make do. So, started a ritual. You interrupted. Now everyone's dead.
What was the ritual for?
Our god demands sacrifices.
And who's your god?
Well, Bane, of course. I thought you elves were supposed to be smart.
Still smarter than you.
Well, maybe that. She got you there, don't she? Shut up!
I'm gonna look at my partners. I think the situation's diffused.
Yes.
The kid's
Seems that
still
way.
screaming.
The child is kind of crumpled now onto the ground, holding his knees, rocking back and forth, and just kind of sobbing quietly.
I want to look at Clem, seeing as he's like kind of like the turtle dad type.
Try to calm this guy.
Look at him and
Shield
the
him from
boy and be
everything
like,
with my shield.
"You got that?"
Yeah, I can take him.
His name is...
I've got a
Wobbly.
very friendly turtle face.
Yes, his name is Wobbly.
Wobbly.
Never mind. Wobbly.
All right, Walter. He's gonna look after you.
Can I walk over and like pick up their bows and arrows and stuff?
Yep.
I hope you don't
no.
mind. Just a little bit of insurance. How many arrows are there?
Roll for it. Let's see. Give me,
Investigation?
Nope, just roll d12 to see what you find.
Oh, D12.
I did one too. Sorry.
10.
Okay. Between their quivers and what's on the ground from the fight, you're able to find 10 arrows.
I'd like to be taking a look at this.
Roll. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Whatever the statue.
Okay, give it an investigation.
Oof.
Well, it's a statue. It's made of stone. It looks to be like a kind of angelic figure. You can see that it's wearing, although it's carved out of stone, you can see that it's carved to look like it's wearing a breastplate over some kind of mail. There's still great detail to it that you can see the folds of the fabric even on the robe that's being worn underneath the mail and breastplate. It looks like there's only one wing depicted on it. However, while it is clear that this was also made out of some kind of rose-colored marble, it has since been blackened with ash, and it has been splashed or even over the ash with some kind of red sticky liquid, which is then kind of defiled down and spilt over the pedestal that this statue is upon.
Would I, just because of my role before, and I know that she's the one-winged god, would I at least be able to tell that it is, I forget her name,
Zalakas is her name. It certainly fits what you remember of her.
Okay.
With a 3, it's hard to give you a lot.
Yeah, of course. It's a statue.
Is it the same from the etchings outside in the other room?
Not
It
quite
certainly
sure.
looks like it.
It might be.
I'm mostly
well
paying
done.
attention to the kid right now, trying to calm him. Casting
Slightly
light on
different.
rock. Cast light on a rock and give it to him. See if he likes that.
Well, I look at Gwen. Well, what do we do with these?
I say we let them go. No reason to kill them.
Even just looking at that statue, it looks like there's something on the base. It's covered in gook and soot, but it appears that there might even have been some kind of carving in the base as well.
Can I go up to it and inspect it for booby traps?
Let me
Yeah.
guide you.
Thank you.
Say a quick prayer to Lord and give her the light.
Go ahead and roll, or?
Yeah, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't sure. I want to make sure. Oh, shoot. I was still on. It's whatever the first one is. 16
That's
plus
okay.
2.
Yeah, it's the first one.
That's okay.
so
That's so great.
Um,
Let me take
you
advantage.
don't find any traps. You do, though, as you're doing this, by the way, you hear the pattering of feet behind you, and you feel small arms latch around your legs, holding you tight. As Wilbley comes running up to you, sobbing, he grabs on your leg and will not let go.
Oh, dear.
But that doesn't affect you in as much as that you're able to do a pretty thorough examination of the statue and its base. To you, it's very clear that was blood. That is old blood that has been thrown upon it. You can make out in Goblin, written in Dwarvish characters, in a very crude hand, almost what it looks like finger paint with the blood. The name Bane has been written all over this statue. But as you're searching for traps or any kind of falseness to the base, you clear away some of the soot, and you see characters written in Elvish,
Oh,
which say, in Elvish, "To keep this, you must first give it to me."
I'm gonna just absently start just running my hand across his Warbley's head, just comfortingly.
Okay.
Roderick, Clem, there's some Elvish written in here, and there's something I don't quite understand. It's beneath this mess. It says to keep this, you must first give it to me.
To keep this.
Sounds like a riddle.
Never been one for riddles.
Only riddle I know is battle.
There's good ones out there.
First, give it to
Go quiet.
Maybe there's some type of, I don't know, a key or something we need to give it. Just thinking. I'm gonna check the wizard who seemed to be running the show to see if there's anything that maybe we could give.
Perhaps, but this is written in Elvish. I don't think any of these goblins actually know Elvish. I'm gonna look at the two, and do they speak common? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Good. Did any of your compatriots know Elvish?
What?
Your
What's-
bosses, the ones you were with.
No, man. No.
Didn't think so.
No, boss don't know. Silly. Elvish. Nah.
Oh, you want to call it silly, do you? I tighten the grip on my rapier.
Meaning no disrespect to you, of course. Shut up, John. Shut up. And they just kind of grovel on the ground. They're like, ooh.
Oh.
Fully expecting to be killed at any moment. They are free, though. So will you let us go?
What do you think, my friends? I look at Clem and Adric.
Steer clear of the halfling village.
Stay far away from the halfling village. And the rest of your kind, too. Or we'll be back to clear you out. How does that sound? For your lives?
Yeah, no, we don't. Stupid little halflings. We don't want none of them.
Okay, I'm gonna give them both.
It was all the boss.
That's what I figured. I've dealt with your kind before. So, be free, and stay out of as much trouble as you possibly can. I know it's difficult. I'm gonna hand them their bows back and 2 arrows each. I'm not gonna let you leave without some way to protect yourself in these woods.
They skeptically take them from you. They make a great show of putting them away and out of their hands. And looking at each other and you, they kind of stay along the back wall here. And with their backs pressed against the wall, they begin to slide along the wall, looking at you the whole time, waiting for you to attack.
I just wave at them.
All right. With that, they bolt. You see, they get to near the door, and then they just burst into a full-on terror sprint.
Watch the trap on that door out there.
Oh, it's not gonna harm them. I disarmed that a while ago. Was I going to make the same mistake twice?
No, but that could have been funny.
That would have been hilarious. I had half a mind to try and undo it, but Adric was in the way. So I was just no, I probably shouldn't, because then he would have to go through it.
I thought I was
wasn't
accurate.
They already knew about it. They already knew about it. Though.
Yeah.
I'm not very dexy as a dwarf.
Can I like
Alright.
pick up Warbly and like hold him and be like, okay, darling, what do you think? What's something that if you want to keep it, you have to give it first? What do you think?
You're asking him?
Just making conversation, trying to calm him down.
What? 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 If what?
Don't worry about it, darling. Okay, we need to figure this out. This could be
Is
important.
there any other words written there other than that?
I mean, it says Bane and Goblin quite a bit. That was put over this. To keep this, you must first give.
To keep this. What is this? Visibly getting frustrated.
Could it be a name?
My God, isn't so mysterious. To keep this temple, we must. I don't know.
This you must first give it.
Now, I want to look around and look at the walls too to see if there's any other scriptures, much like the other room.
Yeah, same here.
Well,
The
they're doing that.
walls
I'm
in
just
this room. Okay. The walls in this room are very, very smooth. The as a dwarf, you are appreciative. You can't help but admire the workmanship that it is almost imperceptible where the stone is joined, and not a single mark or chisel mark mars the surface. It is perfectly smooth. Although the floor is a bit cracked in places now with age, and there is dust and grime that has accumulated. The walls underneath a finer layer of some dirt and dust is perfectly smooth.
finding anything.
Nothing. This room was crafted beautifully. Got my hand running along the wall as I walk it.
Say the phrase again.
To keep this, you must first give it to me. First thing that comes to my mind is your name, or your word. Like an oath?
Not to. Yeah, to keep a promise, you have to give your word.
That's the only way you can keep it, is if you give it to somebody first.
This is Elvish. I don't know.
Just because it's Elvish doesn't mean a whole lot. Just means whoever wrote it in Elvish.
Exactly.
Well, lucky for you, you have me. So, what do we want to try? Or do we just want to leave and not figure out what this... I'm been too intrigued in this to just leave, but if you want to...
I'll just say Zalakas. Look right at the statue.
And saying Zalakas.
Zalakas. Let's see if that's a word.
Okay. You call the name of the goddess. It slight echo in the room as you call it out, Clem.
Zalakas.
I don't think anything's happening.
Yeah. It was worth a shot.
Try your name, maybe?
My name.
Give a name? Get to keep it? I don't know.
I'm Clem.
It's an idea.
But my name could be Zalakas.
Pretty sure her name is Elikas.
If I give my name, I can take one.
Well, if we were thinking of an oath, me and Clem here have already sworn an oath. But Gwen... perhaps?
I can't just swear an oath to something I don't know.
blasted elves.
It's more than being just an elf, dwarf. There's no need to be disrespectful.
I'd like to potentially maybe go back into that other room where there was actually scripts on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I looked at this side before, so this time I'd like to see this side, the other side.
On that side, you see the bas relief carving, kind of almost like a mural, where you see these knights in battle with goblinoid creatures, but also other types of what you might consider monstrous creatures, with the one-winged figure, which you now identify as Zalicus, kind of behind and guiding them as her knights seem to be fighting and defeating hordes of these goblins. But judging by the corpses, it's somewhat graphic. And that's on the one wall, and then the carving with the words on the other side.
Okay.
Which I can repeat if you need me to.
I have it written down too.
Yeah, I guess I'll go
Okay.
over there and try to read that.
It's easy to read. Again, it's kind of very elegantly script cut in, engraved into the wall. I swear the Zelican oath to serve law, battle chaos, and keep the Zelican lore secret.
I'm gonna try to yell down the hallway. Elf, we did find that oath you were speaking of here.
Okay, and what do you want me to do about it?
Speak it back to the statue, maybe.
I'm not giving away my freedom to some arbitrary god. I worked hard for this. I'm not giving it up.
Look at Clem and go, I would have say it.
I mean, Clem.
Obviously conflicted.
Clem.
She fought with Pelor.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. So Pelor would probably be a good one to have involved with this.
But to swear an oath to another god.
An allied god. Perhaps he can forgive.
I mean, does Pelor like law and not like chaos? I mean, it's not like you're exactly. How are you? I don't know. I'm not a holy person. I don't know much about this.
I look at Clem. For what it's worth, we've gone this far. Perhaps you can give it a shot.
Oof. All right, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I go up to the statue.
Mm-hmm.
I swear the Zelican oath. Looking up at Pelor. To serve law, battle chaos, and keep the Zelican lore secret.
As you finish speaking the oath, you hear grating and shifting and see a puff of dust settle from behind the back corner, and you see a wall slide open, revealing a secret door triggered by the utterance of the oath. The young halfling boy, will it be, even through his sniffling, ooh, Um, you now
Do you want to-
see the opening.
I turn around to Battlehammer. The boy should have taken the oath.
Oh!
That's kind of.
Why don't you, Gwendolyn?
And
see
as
what I
you
did?
as the final, you feel that holy power kind of gather around you, Clown. It sinks through your skin and flesh and wraps itself around your bones. You feel a new obligation to champion law and justice in the world. It doesn't seem to oppose the orders that you have sworn to Pelor, but if anything, seems to bolster your commitment to take an active role. The door at the back of the corner of the room now is slid open, but you can smell the cold, stale air as it spills outward from that dark doorway.
Before we venture further into the unknown, I want to take a look at the other bodies real quick and just see what they have on them real fast.
Okay. The will be Goodbarrow looking at you, rifling through the dead corpses, kind of whimpers, and he's looking around, almost not knowing where he needs to go and to get away from them.
Oh, I was holding
both.
him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's like squirming.
It's okay, darling. It's okay.
But you do a little bit of rifling. They don't have much on them. You find a grand total of 6 copper pieces and 1 silver.
Okay. What about our priest guy? Anything?
The goblin priest, yeah, his, like I said, he had this what was once a bit of fine velvet robe that is just covered with filth and grime, and the blood splashes and the from your arrow, as well as the slicing cut from Adric's scimitar, have pretty much soiled and destroyed anything on that. He had nothing on him except for what looks to be a necklace of, you believe, are chicken feet? Mummified chicken feet around his neck.
Nice.
Is this useful to either of you? I'm gonna hold them up.
The look, I almost kind of give up.
I'll go and look and
No.
give it a smell. See if it looks edible. I don't think it does.
No,
Okay,
they're
thought I'd
old
ask.
and nasty.
I don't know much about magic. I just know some take components. Didn't know if you might need them. Okay, I'm just gonna throw everything except for the silver and copper back.
Okay. Do you, just as a point, do we want to look to take a break tonight? Are you guys okay? You want to continue on? How do you feel? This
Depends
is
how long
normally where we would take a 5-minute to.
Not mind this super short break.
Okay. So I guess this is a good spot. We'll step away for about 5 minutes. Those of you at home, make some popcorn and come back and join us soon. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. All right. You have solved a riddle, given an oath, and it seems that Zalakas has favoredly accepted it as the door to a passage has opened upon your oath.
I'm gonna
What
look
say
at
you?
Clem, look at the doorway, and kind of go,
I think
"Well,
it makes sense that I
yeah, it's only
see
right."
what's back here.
I kind
I'm
of
gonna step in, not even checking for any kind of a trap or anything.
Okay.
Wait. Please step lightly. Last thing
It
we
is
need is to get
dark.
through this and die because of a trap.
If it's dark, then I'm gonna cast light on my shield, lighting up the symbol of Pelor.
All right. You are giving off. Let me just adjust that.
as soon as the symbol of Pelor shines, the door shuts behind you.
I'm gonna set.
All right. You are now giving off.
I'll do it on my
radiant-
mace like I usually do, which also has a symbol of Pelor.
Okay.
I can move that around a little easier.
I'm gonna set Warbly down and like take his hand, like left hand, and have my rapier ready in the other one. Keep him close.
Okay. All right. So you are giving off that light. So we can cut over to the map. All right. So you see this passageway. It is kind of dug into the bedrock, if you will. While it looks like it is carved into the native rock, it doesn't look rough. It is definitely well worked and smooth. You come around that corner though, and as you're moving in, you see that the ground is a little bit different here. It's gotten some bit of cracks in the ceiling, and some of the dirt has gotten into this area. Give me a perception check, Clem.
Sure. Let me get back to my character sheet.
It is clear to you that this, with the dirt and whatnot, that there's no footprints or disturbance of any kind.
Nothing's been in here for a long time. A long time. I'll take another step forward.
Okay.
Battleheimer, what do you think about this stonework?
I want to like run my hand across it. Beautiful. It's almost unworked but worked at the same time. Is it perfectly smooth how it was in the last room?
The last room felt as if it was they were blocks that had been placed just unbelievably well with great precision. This actually looks like it has been carved out of the actual bedrock.
Okay.
Like you're delving into solid stone, and you get that sense of very stale air. That this air has not been disturbed in a long time, and you've got that deep chill to the air as you're moving through this. That you
Just
you
keep
get
walking slowly,
inside
yeah.
of stone. Yeah, and the passage continues around a corner. Okay. The room you see opens up into what appears to be some kind of burial chamber.
Oh,
As you see 5 sarcophagi, uh, that are spread out, 2 on either side of you and 1 directly ahead. They are not ornately decorated, rather plain, but tasteful and quite beautiful in their clean lines and simplicity. You do see directly in front of you, in the midst of these sarcophagi, a pedestal about 2.5 feet high, and upon which rests a gleaming sword. Clam, you overcome as you approach this room. You get a sense of just reverence to you. You feel something inside you. Being a cleric of Pelinar, you are familiar with this kind of these unspoken kind of guidance that you receive from your god, and this really feels, although not exactly the same, almost like a strong intuition that you feel that this is a sacred place and that it should not be desecrated.
Sure. I take a deep breath and take a step inside.
Okay.
And I say the same to my 3 companions. To, what this means a lot to me, and I'm not sure why.
Looks like a bunch of bodies.
Yeah, and
could be a trap.
kind of move out of your way, and you can see this shiny sword up ahead too.
Oh, that is tempting.
The eyes get a little wide, like, ooh. Maybe my piratey side coming out a little bit.
Is Gwendolyn bringing Wilby with her?
When she sees the sarcophagi, don't like this, and I don't think bringing a child in here is the best choice. Can we perhaps maybe bring Wobbly back and then come back to the sword? That may or may not be a horrible decision to touch.
It doesn't feel evil to me.
And roll for me a religion, Clam, at advantage.
Okay.
All right. Well, you are very much drawn right now to this sword. You feel as if this was specifically is meant for you, and that it would be all right for you to take it.
Oh, okay. I'll look down on this beautiful gleaming sword and kind of look at the battle hammer and the kid and Gwen in the hallway, and I'm say, I think this is right, and reach down and pick it up.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
So you pick up the sword, and it just feels right to you. You feel approval, almost in the space as you lift up this sword.
Mm-hmm. The Edict Blade.
Adric's looking at him a little jealous.
It appears to be a favor
It's
of
like looking up.
Zalakas.
You get the sense that if you spend some time with it, you will know a little bit more about it. But right now, it just feels like it's notable that even though it has clearly been here for a tremendous amount of time, that the edge is still super sharp and keen as you run your finger along it, and that it still gleams without the slightest bit of corrosion or the passage of time upon the blade.
Beautiful.
I want to take a look at
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I just wanted to take a look at maybe like if there's any scriptures on these sarcophaguses. Just kind of take a look at them.
No, they're rather plain. Again, very very well made. Very almost austere with the lines of them, without a whole lot of ornamentation, but they're just very very tasteful resting places, without a whole lot of fanfare or over ostentatiousness to them.
I think it'd be best if we left the rest of this undisturbed.
I completely and wholeheartedly agree.
Right, let's
Let the dead
bring
rest.
the boy back.
Are you ready to go home, Wobbly?
Oh yes, ma'am. I am so ready to go home.
I'm going to
Should we
I'm going to kneel for a second in here and say a prayer to Pelor and maybe reach out to Zalakas as well.
Okay. You feel the your god's presence, but you're not accustomed to having overt displays when you
Sure.
make your reverence. But you definitely feel that familiar warmth and adoration for Palar and his presence within you.
I'll stand up and say, I'm coming, guys, and take off down the hall.
Okay. I should probably...
Oh no, get out. There I am.
Not realizing how long I've been in there. Not want to get left down here.
All right. Well, you make your way past the carnage that is the chapel to Zacchus. And Wilby has his head buried in your neck.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn.
I'm gonna
still whimpering, looking at.
Is the cage made out of wood?
No, it's made out of very crudely bent iron bars.
Okay.
It is extremely crude. It looked like there was some kind of twisted metal that was holding it shut, that they must have opened up when he took the boy out to use as a shield, trying to dissuade you from attacking him.
Okay. I'll stop again at this statue and think that I'd love to come back and hopefully clean this up at some point.
Okay.
Not having anything. Maybe I'll pour some of the water from my water skin over the statue and wipe away some of the face.
It has no head. The head got knocked off.
Oh, it doesn't have a head?
No. Not according to my
Never mind.
notes.
I'll pour down its neck.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, it's pretty defiled.
All right. Then I will just walk away.
All right. We can say that you guys make it up out of the lower levels of the tomb that you now know it to be. And as you make it up through the uh, to the surface. It's getting close to late in the day. It is the height of summer, so you know that you still have a few hours before it becomes too dark to navigate.
Do we have enough time to get back to the town, or would we lose daylight before
To
we get there?
the farmstead.
The farm, yeah.
It took you only about under 2 hours.
Okay.
And that is with having a bit of a issue in the forest with the boars. But you know that road, there was a roadway that you took that should lead you most of the way that you need to go.
Okay. And I would have mapped that out, so I would have a pretty good understanding of the lay that we went.
And there's enough light. As you have been waiting underground and do the time that you spent nursing your wounds, the earlier storm has mostly dissipated.
Yay.
And is no longer an issue. The ground is pretty wet. The wind is still blowing somewhat, but you're able to navigate without having any adverse effects of.
Okay.
All right, well, let's go reunite a family. Oh, I hear the cows.
Okay. So on the way back, just give me a quick survival check, just to make sure that you're able to be able to follow your map through the forest. Ooh.
Yikes. I don't get to make a thing with my cartographer tools.
All right, I'll say that you're right. Yes, because you made the map, you can do it at advantage. So
Okay.
Go ahead and roll one more. That's fair. That is fair.
Don't let me down. I know exactly where we're going.
You do indeed. No problems whatsoever. You make your way back down the path. Well, what used to be clearly a road of some sort back in some distant path.
Oh! I hid one of the boar bodies because I wanted to bring it back to the camp so they had something really good to eat. I want to pick that up on our way.
Ooh, I'll
Okay.
carry that for you.
Thank you, 'cause I'm holding a child.
Yeah, I'll carry a boar.
Thank you, darling.
Okay. So, yeah, with your map, you're able to find the off-road, the path that you took off of the road. And you're even able to still see now coming the other way where the goblins and you now know the bugbear had pushed through some of the underbrush, and you're able to follow that right back to the spot where you left the boar that you had killed. And there are still two of them there. I believe one of them was slightly singed, however. So, Clem, you're able to hoist one up on your shoulder, over the back, I guess, over your shell.
Up on the shell.
Up on the shell. And you are able to traverse back, and you find yourself nearing the area of the abduction by the honeybee grove, where they kept the beehives. Wilby kind of scrambles down, knowing where he is now, and tries. We are. I can make us home. I can bring us to my home now. Come, follow me.
Lead the way, young warrior.
And as you settle him down, you can see him starting to tear off, still covered in gore. and blood, but seemingly now beginning to recover from the shock of his abduction. Now that he's on familiar ground.
To try to keep up, like while my tiny dwarf legs.
I mean, he's a halfling. It probably isn't going to take you much to keep up with him.
That's a good point. Both of you
Gwen
guys
and Clem are
shuffled
just
along.
walking in normal pace.
Yeah, well, I tell you, 9-year-olds of any race move very, very quickly, but he doesn't get lost. And as you approach the area of the beehive, we'll be rushing ahead. You see his mother in the courtyard rush out to him and throw her arms around him. You can hear, even from the distance, as she sobs in joy. And you see several of the other farmstead hands coming out of the building, and a ragged cheer erupts as they run over and embrace him, patting him on the back as you begin to walk up to the farm.
Adric just has like a slight smirk.
So you guys are given greetings as you approach, and 3 cheers go up for you as you make it. What do you guys? I'll leave it. I don't want to step on your action here.
I'll like kind of jump in with them like, who's got a pint for the dwarf?
I walk up with the boar. Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
I walk up with the boar and present it to what was
his name is
gentleman's name? I wrote it down too.
Elderly gnome. Milo?
Milo. Yep.
Milo
Good Barrel.
I see Milo.
You do, because he is kneeling down with his wife as they hug their grandson, and his mother, their daughter. They're all in just a kind of a ball, a little bit, crying. As you walk up with this giant boar on your back, he looks up at you, a little bit surprised. You're quite the spectacle of a very 450-pound turtle carrying an almost equally large boar on his back. My goodness, you did it! Thank you so much. I can never repay you.
Well, this boar was actually killed by Gwen here. I think it could provide quite the celebration this evening. Feed the village quite a bit beyond.
Amazing. Well, we'll never forget what you did for us today, and we'll be sure to tell not only did you bring us young Wilby back, but you brought us supper as well. Looking up as well, back in the distance a little bit from the edge of this kind of common area, you do see the small gnome owner of the caravan as she's smoking a pipe and just kind of looks at you and gives you a nod and a salute with her pipe as
Mr. Miyagi gaze. I love it.
Okay.
Say again, who's got a pint for the dwarf?
Screaming that out the second time, you see people jump, some of the halfling near you jump and go running off to one of the buildings. And they come out with not a pint, but 3 pints. And are waiting up in line, 1, 2, 3, for you, expecting you to drink and have you without you having to ask. They are
walk up and take
ready
one.
to give you next one.
I'll take this.
I take two. I take two and I'm holding them, and then I you see for a second, I'm like, maybe, and I look at Clem and I'm like, there you go. I try to pass it over to Clem.
This calls for a toast. I have a
Cheers.
toast from Chilan. We shall drink this ale, unwind and enjoy the buzz, submit and relax. And I'll sit down and just chug it.
As you guys are enjoying your ale, the hog is taken away, the boar is taken away, and you can see that it is quickly cleaned and put over a spit, and a fire is made right there, dug out and made in the courtyard. As evening is starting to come on, Milo comes up to you, and he says to you, I don't have much coin, it is true, but I can't let your good deed go without a reward. I've got this here rock. It's a stone that's been passed down in the family, and it's said to be very lucky, and it's always seemed to bring me a great deal of luck. And I want you to have it. It's the least that we could do for all that you've done, bringing our young little boy back to us. And I just want you to have it. And he hands you a small stone with a bit of a kind of a milky shine to it.
I'm gonna take it.
Being a dwarf with stone knowledge, would I know what stone it is? What kind of stone, at least?
You should. Yeah, you should know. You feel like you should be able to recognize what this kind of stone is made from. But it seems to kind of not really lend itself to any one type of stone that you can think of. And its origins are very hard to ascertain.
Interesting.
Is that a rock you never seen before, dwarf?
It almost feels like I should know it, but I really can't come up with it. But it is a very nice stone indeed, and we appreciate it, Milo.
Well, it's as I say, Mash. That's the least we can do. And I tell you this for nothing. We shall be telling the tale of this far and wide. Your names will be known in these parts, that's for sure. We don't have much, and we try to serve the Empire best we can, and still have a little bit to set aside to get us through. But we do talk, and all the farmers in this valley, they'll know what you've done for us today. That I can promise you.
I'll drink to that.
Gwen looks a little nervous about that, but she stays silent.
We couldn't have done it without Gwen.
I would have been.
The farmers begin to, as the food gets laid out, some of them have some musical instruments and begin to play. And you settle in for a evening of kind of enjoyment, food, and they are happy to share with you the drink that they have. And I think that is a good place where we'll call it. I will tell you this: the stone that he gave you after you spend the night with it, whoever is the one holding it.
I took it.
You realize that this is indeed a magical stone, and it is a stone of good luck. It is a luck stone.
Ooh.
While holding it, you will receive +1 to all saving throws.
Whoa. That's awesome.
I would say the right character got it based on the rolls last week.
Yeah. Tonight has actually been the best that I've rolled on Roll20 the entire time I've ever used it.
Even at the right time, too.
Yeah, so the Stone of Good Luck, all of your saving throws are +1.
Sweet. I can.
All right. Well done, guys. That was very, very well played.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed your evening spent in the Byzantine tomb.
Do
Absolutely.
we get to level up?
Ooh, that's a good
Uh,
question.
You very well may. Yes, actually, as you sleep, you will feel very much invigorated in the morning, and you will find yourself with some abilities that you've been working on suddenly seem to make more sense. Yes, you have leveled with the completion of the rescue
We
of
survived
the young
level
blue
1!
barrel.
I was prepared to create a new character after tonight. Like 100%. I was already thinking of what I was gonna be next. I was so scared.
We're all coming back as barbarians.
Yeah. Just a party of barbarians.
You know, I've only seen a TPK once with a party that I was DMing, and it was because they were first level and ran right into the meat grinder.
Oh.
And it was after taking a rest and never considering the fact that things might have changed after they rested.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys survived. You played it well. We want to thank again Syrinscape and give them a shout out for the lovely ambient music and sounds. I think it really made a big difference this
Oh,
week.
huge.
Thank you,
It really
Sarah.
did. Made it immersive.
Yeah,
It was
that
nice.
was all very cool. And as always, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Be safe and always check for traps. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Good night now.